What's happening to the left across Europe and beyond? Why do some parties lose ground while others reinvent themselves? And who are the people still trying to build something different? Across different countries and political contexts, the left is confronting difficult questions about inequalities, democracy, war, climate crisis, migration, labor, power, and the rise of the far right. But it is also proposing answers, testing strategies, and imagining alternatives. This channel is where these questions, answers, and experiences become conversations. My name is Akif Cem Özkardeş. Welcome to the Left Agora. Left politics around the world needs more communication, coordination, and collaboration. Left-wing actors need to know more about one another, learn from one another, and better understand each other's national contexts in order to navigate the challenges of an increasingly complex world. In an interconnected world, political problems are not isolated, so left forces don't have the luxury of being isolated either. This is one of the main reasons I created the Left Agora. This is a project connecting individuals, political actors, parties, and ideas across the European left and beyond. But can a political channel approach these questions calmly, without sensationalism, without clickbait, without manufactured conflict, without the performance of outrage? I believe it can, and this belief shaped the channel from the very beginning. A channel built around calm, sincere, and serious conversations, from Finland to Portugal, from Germany to Greenland, from Iceland to Latvia. This channel follows the people, parties, conflicts, and ideas shaping the future of left-wing politics across Europe and beyond. It is built around real voices, real questions, and real conversations, not AI generated political content. This is a place where ethical standards are kept high for guests, for the audience, and for the um, conversations themselves. The Left Agora is a political channel featuring conversations with diverse left-wing actors from different countries, parties, movements, and political traditions. The name of the channel comes from my admiration for two things: politics, especially left politics, of course, and history, especially ancient history. The Agora was not only a place of commercial activity, it's also a place where people gathered, argued, listened, exchanged ideas, and took part in public life. For me, this is what politics should be: not only competition, not only strategy, not only noise, but also conversation, reflection, disagreement, learning, and collective imagination and practices for the common good. We have many reasons to be angry, anxious, and disappointed in the 2020s. And left politics, at least as I understand it, doesn't only offer policies or prescriptions for human life, it's also a manifestation of these emotions: anger at injustice, anxiety about the future, disappointment with the present, but also hope that another world can still be imagined. I will be honest, I'm not very optimistic about the direction of our world, and many of us are not. And yet, despite how mentally exhausting this pessimism can be, I wanted to create a space where calm, sincere, and serious dialogue remains possible, a place where small lights of optimism can still be lit. The calm tone of the Left Agora doesn't mean indifference. Many of the issues we discuss on this channel deeply anger, disturb, and worry me. But I wanted to create a space where left politics can also be discussed calmly and seriously. A space where we We don't have to rely on sensationalism, a space where conflict is not produced artificially for the sake of popularity, visibility, or audience attention. A space where learning can take place, not only for the audience, but also for the politicians, activists, academics, observers, and myself. Space not only for people who already identify with the left, but also for those who want to understand left politics more calmly and seriously, even if they come from different political backgrounds. I'm an academic, and yet I don't design the interviews on the Left Agora as academic interviews. The channel is normatively engaged with left politics, but it is non-partisan, dialogue-oriented, and independent of any political party or organization. At the same time, I must say with great joy that academics may also find rich and valuable material in these conversations. My aim is for the Left Agora to to become a large, a growing archive of ideas, emotions, and experiences. Of course, we talk about party politics, elections, institutions, strategies, and organizational dynamics, but the goal of this channel goes beyond the institutional level. I also want to understand my guests as individuals. I want to understand their political journeys, their experiences, their doubts, their hopes, their frustrations, and their feelings about politics and the world and the future. Because political actors are they are not only representatives of parties, ideologies, or institutions. They are human beings shaped by past, by history, conflict, memory, defeat, responsibility, and hope. There are many valuable works on YouTube and beyond about left politics, no doubt, but the Left Agora tries to contribute in a particular way by looking at the left as a broad political family and by giving space not only to well known or mainstream left wing parties, but also to smaller parties, lesser known actors and political experiences from smaller countries and less visible political contexts. I strongly believe in the transformative potential of such actors, parties, and countries in the modern world. And this diversity is not accidental. I have tried to reach political actors from different tendencies within this broad left, from the radical left, including democratic socialists, Marxist, and communist currents, to the center left, including social democratic actors, as well as green left, and other progressive currents. These categories are, of course, not simple. Each of them contains different traditions or internal debates or political tensions. And if a certain party family tendency or political tradition hasn't yet appeared on the channel, this doesn't necessarily mean that it has been ignored or excluded. In many cases, I may already have contacted actors from that tradition, party, or organization. Sometimes there is no response. Sometimes the response is negative. Sometimes the timing doesn't work. I don't, of course, claim that I have contacted every single left-wing party in Europe, but I can say that I have made serious effort to reach a wide range of actors across different types of left politics, and I will continue to do so. There is another choice I have made consciously. Many people around me have asked why I don't use more dramatic titles, more provocative thumbnails, or more tension grubbing framing for the videos and shorts. I understand the question. More exciting titles often mean more views. More views mean more people listening to left wing actors. And of course, every channel wants to reach more people. But for the left Agora, there is a delicate balance. If the channel relies too much on excitement, exaggeration, or clickbait, it risks weakening the very thing it is trying to build: a serious, long-term, trustworthy archive where dozens and hopefully one day hundreds of political actors from across Europe can be listened to, compared, and understood. So I have decided not to build this channel around clickbait. This doesn't mean that titles should be boring. It doesn't mean that political communication should be inaccessible. And I respect channels that use engaging titles, honestly, without misleading their audiences. But for this project, I want the form to remain consistent with the purpose. The same is true for my interview style. Sometimes people also ask why I don't challenge my guests more aggressively. My answer is simple. The Left Agora is not designed as a confrontational interview platform. This doesn't mean that I agree with everything my guests say. It doesn't mean that I never ask follow-up questions if I think something is unclear, if I feel that an answer needs more detail, or if there is time to go deeper. I do ask further questions, of course, but I don't want to produce artificial pressure, conflict, or confrontation for the sake of popularity, visibility, or, as I said, audience attention. The aim is not to corner the guest. The aim is to listen carefully, to understand what they think, to let them explain their position, and then leave space for the audience to reflect and decide for themselves. Sometimes simply allowing political actor to speak seriously and at length can be more revealing than forcing a dramatic confrontation. This may make the channel less immediately attention grabbing. It may even make it less visible in short term, yes, but I believe it makes it more valuable in the long term. Since the beginning of the channel, my experience with the guests has been deeply positive, and I'm genuinely grateful for that. The channel is still very young. It still needs to grow. It still needs to improve. But seeing these conversations take place and reach people makes me feel that the project is moving in the right direction. Finally, the Left Agora will remain a space where my guests are treated with respect, where they can raise their voices freely and confidently. For me, the ethical responsibility of the channel begins before the interview, continues during the conversation, and absolutely doesn't end when the recording stops. In an age of noise, speed, polarization, and algorithmic pressure, the Left Agora tries to do something different. Not louder, not faster, not more sensational, but calmer, deeper, and more human. The Left Agora is still a very young project, as I said. If you believe that left-wing actors across countries should learn more from one another, if you believe that political conversations can still be calm, serious, and human, then I invite you to subscribe and become part of this project. Until next time, let the Agora echo with new voices.